ولدت جينيفر 1986 في ماركم، انتيريو، لعائلة متوسطة، كما أن لها أخ اسمه فيليكس ويصغرها ب3 سنوات. نهج معها أبويها وبيك طريقة صارمة، إذ أنهما وضع العديد من الأهداف لطفليهما، وكان لديهما توقعات عالية للغاية منهما. كانت لدى جينيفر موهبة رائعة في التزلج، وكان متوقعا في وقت ما أن تنافس في دورة الألعاب الأولمبية، لكنها عانت من إصابة خطيرة في سن 14 من عمرها، مما جعلها تخرج من المنافسة قبل دخولها. كما أخبرها الأطباء أنها لم تعد صالحة لهذه الرياضة، وبهذا يكون تكسر حلمها وتلاشى في مهب الرياح. إلا أن توقعات أبويها كانت الآن تصب على الدراسة، لكن هيهات، جينيفر كانت بعيدة كل البعد بأن تكون متفوقة في الدراسة كما كانت في التزلج، فلقد حصلت على المرتبة الثانية بينما أراد منها والداها المرتبة الأولى. وبدل التواصل معهما قررت البدء في تزوير نتائج الاختبار، ثم إلى تزوير شهادة الثانوية العامة، ثم خطاب القبول الجامعي لدراسة علم الصيدلة. في عالم أبويها كانت جينيفر في طريقها إلى مهنة نبيلة وأجر جيد، بين هي في الواقع تركت الثانوية للأبد وتعيش بين أحضان صديقها، والذي كان تاجر مخدرات. ظلت تواعده سرا لمدة 8 أعوام تقريبا، حتى تم كشف أمرها سنة 2010، وكانت حينها تبلغ من العمر 24 سنة. أعطاها والداها اختيارين: إما العيش مع العائلة تحت نظامها، لا تترك المنزل إلا للمدرسة فقط ولا تحدث ذلك الشخص مجددا، أما الخيار الثاني هو أنها تستطيع أن تفعل ما تشاء، لكن عليها وقتها أن تتبرأ من عائلتها ولا تعود للمنزل مرة أخرى، وكذلك كل أشكال الدعم المالي ستتوقف. أما جينيفر كان لها خيار ثالث، جعلت صديقها يرتب غزوا وهميا حيث يدخل 3 من معارفه إلى منزلها وينفذون عملية سطو تبدو على أنها لم تسر كما كان متوقع. كانت التعليمات كالتالي: نهب المنزل وقتل الوالدين. أما تاريخ الجريمة كان يوم 2 من نوفمبر سنة 2010 في حوالي 11 ليلا.
I want to go through a form with you. It may seem kind of, why you're doing this, but this is it's like you're swearing to tell the truth about what you're going to talk to me about, and it's also going to explain to you the penalties for not telling the truth. I don't expect you to help me, but for a homicide investigation, anyone who's very close to the investigation, we do this with. Okay, so this isn't suspecting that you're not going to tell the truth. This is more of a feature that you understand the importance of telling the complete truth. Okay. So what I've just explained to you is you're here voluntarily to help us, that you don't have to talk to us if you don't want to, but the importance of talking to us, and if you're talking to us, the importance of telling the truth. And if you don't tell the truth, there's criminal consequences for not telling the truth. That's all that stuff had to deal with. Okay?
ما قاله المحقق عن أنها أتت طوعا ليس صحيحا كليا. هي طبعا لم يجبرها أحد على القدوم، لكن بمجرد أن يطلب منها الحضور فذلك من منظور سيكولوجي وفلسفي لم يعد طوعيا، ذلك أن أي طلب يأتيك من جهة تفوقك في القوة لا يعد عمله شيئا طوعيا، وإن وهم الحرية هذا يعيشه الفرد داخل المجتمع حينما يعتقد أنه حر في فعل ما يفعل، لكنه في النهاية حر باعتبار ما يعتقده المجتمع على أنه الحرية. وكما أن الشخص خاضع للمجتمع لأنه يفوقه في القوة، نفس الأمر ينطبق على هذه الفتاة، الفرق فقط في من يملك تلك القوة العليا. هذا يعرف بالذهول، إلا أن المصطلح الرسمي في علم وظائف الأعصاب هو الرد الفعلي المفاجئ عبر المنبه السمعي. تكون الاستجابة المفاجئة استجابة دفاعية غير واعية إلى حد كبير للمنبهات المفاجئة أو المهددة، مثل الحركة غير المتوقعة أو الحركة الحادة. كما أن الاستجابة المفاجئة قد تكون بسبب التوتر أو القلق الناتج عن اضطراب القلق، والعلة الأولى هي ما جعلت جينيفر تقوم بتلك الاستجابة المبالغ فيها.
Now I want you to sort of take yourself back to earlier on today. Yesterday, meaning the 8th of November, and tell me about your day. Okay, start at any point in time, wherever you feel comfortable, and then we're gonna move forward. Okay.
Yesterday, probably around 9 o'clock in the morning, 9:30. My mother. She woke me up and she told me that she was going to visit my grandfather.
طوال اليوم عزفت البيانو ودرست تاريخها وتحدثت مع صديقتها وتناولت العشاء مع أبويها. غادرت أمها المنزل للرقص في 8 مساء وعادت في 9:30، وفي ذلك الوقت كانت جينيفر في غرفتها وحدها تشاهد التلفاز وعلى استعداد للنوم.
Suddenly I just heard my mom calling for my dad to come down, and that's when I lowered the volume on my TV. And I could hear the voices weren't any voices I was very familiar with. And so I was scared and I couldn't move. I just sat in my room for a while, peered out of my bedroom door. And a guy was there and he came at me and had string in his hands and tied my arms back and said, "I have a gun behind your back. Do what I say. If you do what I say, then no one will get hurt. Where is the money? Show me where your money is." My mom kept trying to get up, and they kept telling her to sit down, and so I didn't want her to get hurt, so I told her, "Mom, sit down." They were trying to find her wallet, but her English isn't good, so she kept saying purse. They kept pushing her down onto the chair.
Okay. Take your time. Take your time. All this is very important, so take your time.
إلى حد الآن يبدو أن هناك تناسقا في تواصلها غير اللفظي، إذ أنه لمن المنطقي أن تكون هذه هي النتيجة المفترضة للكارثة التي وقعت لعائلتها، وأي تصرف غير هذا سيكون علة للشك.
They kept all the lights off on the main floor. The only time there was light was when they opened the fridge door to see if they could find where my mom's purse was. One of the gentlemen asked my father if he had money in his wallet and where his wallet was. So they took me, because I was next to the stairwell, they took me up the stairs to show them where my father's wallet was. But I didn't know. They had turned the room upside down. I didn't know where his pants were at that time. Next thing I know, I think I heard my parents going down the stairs. And my mom was asking them for me to come with them. They wouldn't let me come with them. And after they said, the last things I heard them say was, "You lied to us, you lied to us." And then I heard 2 pops. My mom screamed. I yelled out for her. And a couple more pops.
Take your time. Take your time.
And I think I heard my mom say or moan or something, and then one of the guys said, "We have to go now. It's been too long." And then they ran out the door. And I think once they were out the door, I heard my dad go up the stairs, and at that point I had my phone on me, behind me, that I had hidden there that they didn't know about.
لاحظ كيف تتعثر في الكلام، فهي ليست متأكدة تماما من مكان هاتفها في ذلك الوقت. والغريب أن الذين استهدفوا أبويها كان هدفهم السرقة على حسب ظاهر قصتها، إلا أنهم لم يبحثوا إن كانت تخفي شيئا أم لا، وهذا يقودنا إلى شيء آخر. إذا كانت تضع الهاتف في جيبها الخلفي فمن المفترض أن يجدوه، فالجيب الخلفي ليس بذلك المكان السري، إذ أنهم كما تقول بحثوا في الثلاجة عن النقود ولم يبحثوا في جيبها. هذا غريب. وسواء أخفته في جيبها أو تحت ثيابها فمن المفترض أن اللصوص سيفتشونها، لذا سبب تعثمها في هذه المسألة يبدو منطقيا جدا، حتى أن المحقق يلاحظ هذه الغرابة ويعود للوراء على الكرسي. لقد بدأت تتضح عنده الأمور.
So when I thought that they had heard them all leave and my dad ran up the stairs, I whipped up the phone and I called 911. The only thing I can remember was he had dreadlocks.
He had dreadlocks. So can you describe his race to me?
He was black.
Was his head covered? Was his face covered? Do you remember anything about that?
Just that his dreadlocks were kind of flopping all over the place. I couldn't really see his face, and they kept the lights dark as much as possible.
Did he have a gun?
Yes.
Did you see the gun?
I only saw the top part of the gun.
What did it look like?
It was black.
Yeah. Do you know where the other guys involved in this are?
I know one stayed with my parents downstairs.
Okay.
The other one, I'm not, at that point in time, I was more focused on him, he was seeing me and he was coming after me.
So you're saying there's 3 for sure?
Yes.
That's all, you saw a total of 3 at one time, you saw 3 people together?
Yes, when I went downstairs, I saw 3 shadows.
Now the first guy who spoke to you, did he have any accent? Was it clear English?
English.
Unbroken?
Unbroken.
No accent?
From the terms he used, I didn't get to pick up an accent, no. He used short phrases.
He sounded Canadian?
I would say, yes, he was born here.
He was born here. Okay.
And the next thing I can hear are them telling my parents to move to the basement.
Okay.
And I'm asking them, why, where are you going? And my mom's yelling to me, I want my daughter. Why can't my daughter come too? I want my daughter.
Who do you hear yelling you lied to us, or to that extent? Number 3.
I'm assuming it's to my father, because he was the one asking for the wallet.
Now you hear this commotion downstairs. You said you heard 2 pops. And you heard who scream? Your mom. And what was she screaming? Do you remember?
I couldn't make it out. It was kind of like a cry yell, so it was just... They had said, okay, that's enough. Let's go.
Who said that? Whose voice is that?
Number 1.
Okay.
And then I heard one more after that. And they were like, that's enough. Let's go.
Okay. And again, that's number 1.
Yes.
You hear scrambling noises. They're gone. Because you're hearing no more. I gather that's how you assume they're gone, is because you don't hear it. Then you hear your dad.
I reached for my phone at that point.
And you call 911. Okay. You hear when your father exits, you hear the door open because you hear your dog, and then
I can hear the outside noises.
Okay.
Like the wind coming in, and I just hear my dad. I think he's.
You think that he's sustained some kind of injury because he's not. You can't understand what he's saying. Okay. What about can you hear your mom? Okay. Where does your dad go? Do you know where? You never see your dad again until when we're at the hospital. I think that's what you said, right?
I saw him when he was on the gurney.
الاضطراب العاطفي الناتج عن الهستيريا والحزن الشديد يجعل من الصعب نقل الأفكار إلى حوار فعلي، كما أن صياغة جملة بسيطة ستصبح صعبة للغاية، وهذا ما لا ينطبق على جينيفر. إن الشخص عندما يحدث له مشكل ما فهو في الغالب سيبدأ بالتعلثم وعدم إيجاد الكلمات المناسبة، ذلك بسبب الجهاز الحوفي المعروف أيضا بالمخ الانفعالي أو الليمبيك سيستم، وهو المسؤول عن الانفعالات والمشاعر والسلوك وغيرها.
Is there any reason to suspect, or anything that's happened in the recent weeks leading up that would have you guys be a target of some type of incident like this?
We live a straightforward, kind of almost routine life.
What, in your opinion, would cause people to target your house to think that there was a large quantity of money?
I'm not sure.
Now, you say your mom drives a Lexus.
It could be because of the aesthetics, yes.
What about your dad?
He drives a Mercedes and he loves that baby.
إذا كان المحققون متأكدين من براءة جينيفر، لكانت هذه هي المرة الأولى والأخيرة التي يتم استجوابها فيها، حيث أن الشرطة حريصة للغاية في كيفية إشراك الضحايا، ولا تريد التسبب في المزيد من الصدمات النفسية غير الضرورية. لكن في هذه المناسبة بالذات لن يكون مفاجئا أن الصحة النفسية لجينيفر كانت أقل أهمية، فهي رسميا لا تزال تعد ضحية وشاهدة، لكن بشكل غير رسمي فإنها المشتبه به الرئيسي. تم استدعاؤها بعد يومين في 9 صباحا للإدلاء بإفادة أخرى، وقيل لها أن السبب هو جمع المزيد من التفاصيل، أما السبب الحقيقي هو جمع معلومات بقدر ما يمكن لاستخدامها ضدها لاحقا، كما أن الاستجواب الفعلي سيبدأ من هنا. جسد جينيفر يخبرنا أنها متوترة وخائفة مما هو قادم أكثر من المرة الأولى. لو دققت النظر ستلاحظ هذا. إنها تعرف بلفتة التهدئة الذاتية أو self-pacifying gesture، والسبب هنا في الغالب أنها خائفة من قول شيء لا يتوافق مع ما قالته في القصة الأولى، وهي ستعترف بهذا بعد قليل. والحقيقة أن خوفها من قول شيء خاطئ يدعو للشك، ذلك أنها لو كانت تقول الحقيقة لن يكون عندها هذا التخوف، إذ أن الحقيقة لا تتغير، أما الكذب فيتغير بسرعة. والشرطة هنا استعملت عامل الزمن حتى ترى ما إن كانت ستقول نفس الكلام أم لا.
I'm going to let you start again, and let's move forward from any time in that day where you want to start. It's your choice.
Okay, I'm very nervous, and I.
Why are you nervous? Tell me about why you're nervous.
Because I don't want to say the wrong things.
Because
that day was a lot.
You're right.
And I've been scattered, and so bits and pieces are here and some pieces aren't here, and I'm just...
So I want you to sit back in your chair, okay? Just sit back in your chair, take a deep breath, okay? Close your eyes, just sit back in the chair for a second, sit back, relax the best you can, close your eyes, and just breathe for a minute, okay? You've taken a deep breath, you've relaxed, you're in a good position right there. Let's start from the beginning of the day, when you wake up, and let's start moving forward from there.
What I can remember is when I woke up, I had some breakfast.
تدربت على البيانو ودرست تاريخه. لعبت في هاتفها وتكلمت مع أصدقائها في فيسبوك خلال ساعات الصباح. غادرت أمها لزيارة جدها المريض ظهرا، وعادت في 3 مساء لإعداد العشاء. أبوها يعود في 4:30 ويتم تقديم العشاء بعد ساعة من ذلك. غادرت أمها للرقص في 8:00 وعادت في 9:30. في هذا الوقت كانت جينيفر في غرفتها تتحدث مع صديق، وأبوها في الغرفة حيث يوجد الحاسوب الرئيسي. بعدها سمعت أمها تنادي على أبيها.
Okay, what do you hear her say?
In Vietnamese, she's like, Hanoi, someday.
من الواضح أنها تدرك أنه يجب عليها أن تبدو حزينة على الموضوع وتخرج هذه المشاعر بشكل معقول في اللحظات الصحيحة، لكن المثير للاهتمام أنها غير قادرة على المحافظة على هذه المشاعر عند سماعها للسؤال، ذلك أنه من الصعب تمثيل هذه المشاعر بشكل مقنع أثناء تقييم السؤال. إن هذه العملية تتطلب جزئين مختلفين من الدماغ، وهذا ما يجعل الناس لا يقومون إلا بشيء واحد في ذات الوقت.
What does that translate to?
That's my father's name, Han. Come down here.
Does she say anything else associated with that?
I can't hear clearly because I was on the phone and the TV was on,
Sure.
but that's what I heard.
Is she yelling, or is it normal?
It's a loud. She's not yelling, but it's a loud tone.
بعدها أغلقت الهاتف مع صديقها لما سمعت ضجيجا.
Okay. Have you heard anything else at this point in time?
As I'm hanging up the phone with him, I hear footsteps going up the stairs.
Okay.
But they're heavier footsteps than what is to be expected from my parents.
Okay.
I peered out and there was a person in what would have been my brother's room.
And where's your brother's room located?
See from my doorway to his doorway, just
Okay.
a little bit down the hall.
Okay.
أخذ أحد المهاجمين جينيفر إلى الطابق السفلي مهددا إياها بسلاح، حيث ترى أبويها جالسين قرب بعضهما.
From where I was standing, my father was sitting on the right and my mother was sitting on the left.
Sitting where?
On a couch, on our couch.
Sitting on the couch. Are they looking out towards you?
No, their backs are towards me.
Okay. And you're now on the ground level? Are you on the floor? Or on the
I'm
sitting on the
on the floor. I'm sitting on the floor.
All right, where are your hands?
They had tied my hands,
So let's
as
go.
I said.
Let's go back up to the stairs. Remember, we said take the other statement and whatever we've said before.
No, I said.
يبدو أن تمثيلها العاطفي يتلاشى تدريجيا مع كل مداخلة يقوم بها المحقق، وستلاحظ أيضا أنها قامت بخطأ فادح، إذ أنها نسيت ذكر أنها كانت مقيدة كما ذكرت في البيان الأول، وما كانت لتقول ذلك لو لم يذكرها المحقق. وليس هذا فقط، بل إن المحقق لم يدخل في جدال معها ولا اعترض حينما قالت أنها ذكرت ذلك وهي لم تفعل، بل تركها تستمر في كلامها. فهدفه الرئيسي هو جمع أكبر قدر من المعلومات المتضاربة والتي ستستخدم ضدها لاحقا.
All I could see was that he had pushed her back onto the couch, and she
Who pushed her?
Number 2.
Okay.
He was pushing her back onto the couch, and she kept saying, "Where's my purse? Where's my purse?" And the guy kept telling her to sit down, and I didn't want my mom to get hurt.
How many times does she get up and get pushed back down?
I'd say she got up twice. 2 was the one talking to my father, asking about his wallet. And number 1, and he kept saying, "Where's the rest of the money?" And "Where's the purse?" was coming from number 1.
Number 1?
Yes.
Behind you?
Yes.
I thought.
But number 2 didn't speak.
Has number 2 uttered a word at this point in time?
I can't remember hearing him.
Okay. So we're just correcting what you said earlier, because you said earlier that it was number 2 who was asking where the purse is, what are the purses, and now you've said now it's number 1 guy who would initially.
I'm sorry, it's just.
No. It's all a purpose. The purpose here is clarifying what you're saying. So number 1
I just
is.
don't want to.
Number 1 is the one who's doing the talking about the purse. Number 3 is focused on your dad's wallet. Okay? Do you get a good look at number 2 now of what he's wearing?
All I could tell was he had a vest, and his face was like a long oval face.
He had a vest?
No, hoodie.
Okay.
Dark hoodie.
Okay. Now, did you see them recover anything inside your mom and dad's room?
I did not see anything, no.
Are you sure? Because when we spoke the last time, there was some mention of some other money that went missing.
تؤكد أن الدخيل الثاني لم يتكلم، أما الثالث فإنها تقول أن لكنته كاريبية، وتتابع قائلة أنها نقلت إلى الطابق السفلي لفترة قصيرة، حيث رأت أبويها تحت الحراسة في غرفة المعيشة. سئل أبوها عن مكان محفظته، فقال أنها في غرفة النوم. بعدها نقلت جينيفر إلى الطابق العلوي برفقة 2 من المهاجمين لمساعدتهما في العثور عليها. لم يجد المحفظة، وبدل ذلك وجد كومة من النقود في منضدة قرب سرير النوم. ثم أخذت جينيفر وربطها في درابزين الطابق العلوي وتركها لوحدها، وعاد المهاجمان للأسفل.
I believe when they were looking for my father's wallet, they had opened the drawer. And it was in an envelope.
What drawer would that have been in?
if you're at the door where I was standing on the left side.
Okay. And approximately how much money?
A few $100s.
Few hundred, because at the time, the last time you told me, you were pretty adamant about $1,100. So I'm curious to know how you came up with that number.
I believe because when we were at the border, we stopped at the duty free. My mother was deciding whether to use her U.S. currency or her U.S. currency or her Canadian currency.
So it was at that time you remember hearing $1,100, and is that the inference you're saying? Is that because you're pretty solid saying that it was $1,100 that went missing, that was taken, and that you saw it when we spoke, and who took it?
تستمر جينيفر في التناقضات وتضطر لتصحيح نفسها عدة مرات.
Let's come back to now you're being taken to the banister in the upper room. Don't apologize, okay? I'm going to try and ask you questions to try and clarify points, okay? If you don't remember, you don't remember. Okay, so there's no apologizing. The only reason you would apologize to me is if you've lied to me.
No.
Okay,
no,
so then in this case, then don't apologize to me. It's okay. Okay, I'm going to ask you questions to clarify points. Can you show me, can you stand up and turn around and tell me, just show on the camera, how your hands are bound?
Just tell you.
The only reason that I'm trying to, I need to do this, is that I'm also going to ask you, is that I want to see how you could physically get your phone out of your waistband. We're obviously going to need to know that. It's very important. So just stand up, focus in on how you did it. And I want you to stick that in your waistband as an example, okay? So just take your sweater off, because this will be a very smooth, very quick thing. It's a one-time demonstration. I'm not going to ask you to repeat it.
They tied my upper arm.
Yes.
Around the banister.
Yes.
But my hands are bound together.
So your hands bound together, and this is the arm that's the strings wrapped around against the banister?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now how can you get to the phone? And how do you make the phone call? 911?
Mm-hmm.
And do you talk down like that?
Yes, I'm yelling at the phone like this.
And how can you hear?
I turned the volume on max.
Yes? So that's exactly the way that you're talking to her against the railing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's good enough. Sit down.
كان الهدف من هذا العرض هو رؤية ما إن كانت أفعالها ستناقض كلامها، لكن بطريقة ما فإن ما فعلته يبدو منطقيا جدا. ربما تكون رتبت لهذا وربما تكون ضربة حظ فقط، ولو أن يدها ذهبت في الاتجاه الآخر لكان ذلك غير منطقي البتة.
At this point I started hearing my parents get up. And they're moving. And my mom's yelling, "Where's my daughter? I want my daughter. Where's my daughter?" And I'm yelling, "Mom, I'm here."
Forgetting what you've already told me.
يقال أن أباها عاد من الموت ليخبرهم بالحقيقة، سنعرف ذلك لاحقا.